How did he do that?
The game just began.
You there, come here, cleaner. Do you know how to play chess? The voice cuts through the ballroom like glass shattering. Heads turn. A tall woman in a silver gown stands near the center of the room, hand resting lightly on a giant marble chessboard like it's her personal stage. Diamond earrings catch the chandelier light. Laughter ripples around her. Malik freezes mid-wipe, cloth still pressed against the glass door. He's just a cleaner, blending into the edges of the gala. The music, the chatter, the champagne, it's all far from his world. But now every eye is locked on him. Clarissa Beaumont, billionaire hostess and queen of the night, gestures with a smile that's too sweet to be kind. Don't be shy, come. Let's see what you've got. Guests snicker. Someone lifts their phone. Another whispers, "This is going to be good." Malik steps back slightly. "Ma'am, I'm working," he says softly, but Clarissa doesn't stop. She tilts her head like a cat toying with a mouse. "Scared? Don't worry. It's just for fun." The crowd laughs louder. A man near the bar calls out, "Yeah, show us how they play in the janitor's lounge." A tightness builds in Malik's chest. He's used to being invisible, not center stage. He lowers his gaze, hoping the moment will pass. But Clarissa smells hesitation like blood in water. She steps closer, the click of her heels echoing through the ballroom. "Well?" she teases. "Or would you rather hide?" The guests form a loose circle. Some cheer. Others pull out their phones. The energy shifts. No longer polite laughter, but a performance waiting to happen. Malik's fingers curl around the cloth. His breathing slows. Behind his silence, something flickers. Steady, quiet, unshaken. Near the back of the room, a distinguished man watches intently. Dr. Patel, chess philanthropist. He doesn't laugh. He studies Malik like he's seen that look before. Clarissa spreads her arms dramatically. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a challenger." Or do we? Chants rise. "Play! Play! Play!" Malik lifts his head. His gaze meets hers. Not defiant, not fearful, calm. The room stills for a moment, as if it senses something it can't name. He says nothing, but he doesn't step away either. The crowd leans forward. Clarissa's smirk wavers just slightly. The game hasn't started yet, but the board is already set. Clarissa lowers herself into the ornate wooden chair, like a queen taking her throne. The chessboard gleams under the chandelier, its polished squares reflecting her confident grin. She waves Malik toward the opposite seat with a flick of her manicured fingers. "Come now," she says, voice dripping with mock generosity. "I'll even make it worth your time, if you last more than 10 moves. $100. Laughter explodes across the room. Someone whistles. A woman fans herself dramatically and says, 10 moves. That's generous. Malik stands still for a moment, holding his cleaning cloth like a shield. "I shouldn't be here," he says quietly. "I'll just get in the way," but they don't hear him. Or maybe they don't want to. A waiter, carrying champagne, brushes past, knocking his shoulder harder than necessary. Liquid spills onto the floor. Guests roar even louder. Clarissa leans forward on her elbows. "What's wrong? Afraid to embarrass yourself?" Her voice cuts through the laughter. "If you lose quickly, maybe I'll even give you a promotion. How about polishing my shoes instead?" The crowd eats it up. Phone cameras rise higher. A chant builds again. "Play! Play! Play!" Malik's jaw tightens. His eyes flick toward the exit for a split second. He could walk away. Ignore the noise. But something in the air shifts. A line has been crossed. Near the back, Dr. Patel folds his arms. He doesn't cheer. He just watches, his eyes narrowing as if he's waiting for Malik's next move. Clarissa smirks, sensing her victory before the game has even begun. "Come now, cleaner, sit. Don't waste our time." Malik exhales slowly. The noise around him fades to a dull hum. He steps forward, pulls out the chair and sits. No words. Just action. For the first time that night, Clarissa's confident smile flickers. The guests lean in closer, their laughter quieter now, not out of kindness, but curiosity. They think they're about to watch a spectacle. They have no idea. Clarissa makes the first move with a flourish, pawn to e4. She slams it down like she's announcing victory before the battle's even begun. The crowd claps as if a performance has started. Malik doesn't flinch. He reaches forward, calm and precise, sliding his pawn to c5. The Sicilian defense. The piece lands with a soft click. A few guests exchange confused looks. One whispers, "Wait, he actually knows openings?" Clarissa laughs loudly. "Oh, impressive." He Googled that one during his lunch break. She glances around, feeding off the chuckles. She moves fast, showy, her pieces flying across the board like she's on stage. Malik answers every move with quiet rhythm, his eyes fixed, his breathing steady. He doesn't look at her, doesn't react to the comments. It's as if the crowd isn't even there. She tries a basic trap, an obvious setup to finish the game quickly. But Malik sidesteps it like he's walking around a puddle. A night out, smooth, controlled, Dr. Patel, standing in the back, tilts his head. His expression changes from casual observer to something sharper. Clarissa's smile tightens. She makes another loud move, flicking her hair for the cameras. Malik responds instantly, clean and efficient. The laughter in the room starts to thin. People aren't roaring anymore, they're watching. Somewhere deep in Malik's mind, a quiet memory flickers. A crowded community center. A small wooden board. Older men watching a skinny kid dismantle adults twice his age. A voice behind him. "You have a gift, kid." Never let them tell you otherwise. He blinks. The memory fades. The board is right here, right now. Clarissa leans back, swirling her champagne. "I hope you're enjoying your little moment," she says sweetly. Malik doesn't answer. His knight moves again, landing in perfect position. Dr. Patel murmurs to the man beside him, "This might get interesting." And just like that, the laughter in the room shifts into silence. The game has their full attention now. Clarissa's smile doesn't reach her eyes anymore. She leans in closer to the board, elbows on the table, tapping her fingernails against the wood. The laughter that once filled the ballroom has thinned to nervous whispers. Her opening tricks didn't work. She isn't used to being challenged, especially not by someone in a cleaner's uniform. She moves aggressively, slamming a pawn forward. "Oh, I see. You're one of those defensive types," she says, her tone laced with mockery. Malik doesn't reply. He studies the board quietly, then slides a bishop across the diagonal with calm precision. His hand doesn't shake. His eyes don't leave the pieces. A woman near the front whispers, "He's not just playing. He's controlling the board." Clarissa forces a laugh, louder than before. "Cute, but let's see how long that lasts." She reaches for her queen and launches an attack, pieces clicking sharply with every move. Malik counters every strike with seamless efficiency. No wasted motion. No hesitation. Each piece falls into place like a puzzle he solved long ago. Dr. Patel's gaze sharpens. He's not reacting. He mutters. He's leading. As the tension builds, Malik's mind drifts, just for a moment, back to the nights when the world first recognized his brilliance. He was a teenager, hunched over chessboards in community halls, defeating adults twice his age while his father cheered from the sidelines. Trophies stacked on dusty shelves. College scouts watching. A future full of promise. Until his father got sick and everything changed. Competitions were replaced by hospital visits. The board went silent. But here, under the glittering chandeliers, that silence breaks. Clarissa wipes a bead of sweat from her temple, trying to hide the growing panic behind her perfect smile. Malik advances a bishop slowly, deliberately. Dr. Patel's eyes widen. "He's setting a trap," he whispers. The crowd senses something they can't quite name. They lean closer, holding their breath. Clarissa doesn't see it yet. But the board does. Clarissa slams her queen forward, eyes gleaming like she's already won. "Got you now," she declares, her voice sharp and triumphant. Gasps and a few chuckles ripple through the room. Everyone expects the cleaner to finally crumble, but Malik doesn't flinch. He reaches out and, without hesitation, slides his rook forward, sacrificing it. The room erupts in laughter. A man near the front shakes his head. He just gave her the game. Clarissa leans back, laughing too loud. "Oh, this is adorable," she says. "You actually thought that would work?" Malik looks up for the first time during the game. His eyes lock onto hers, steady, unshaken. "Are you sure?" he asks quietly. Something in his tone cuts through the noise. The room grows still, then it happens. Malik's knight leaps across the board, snapping into position like a predator pouncing. Murmurs rise. Clarissa's smile falters. He follows instantly with a bishop slide, pinning her queen's escape. Dr. Patel steps closer, his voice barely above a whisper. This is brilliant. The final piece clicks into place, a smooth queen maneuver that traps Clarissa's most powerful piece. She stares at the board, blinking, trying to find a way out. There isn't one. Phones stop shaking. The laughter fades to stunned silence. A few guests cover their mouths. Others exchange wide-eyed looks. Clarissa's hand hovers over the board, fingers trembling. She looks at her trapped queen as if seeing the game for the first time. Dr. Patel exhales slowly. He planned this from the start. Clarissa's confidence shatters like glass under pressure. The performance is over. Now it's a real match, and Malik? He sits in silence, his eyes calm, his plan unfolding exactly as intended. Clarissa's polished nails dig into the edge of the table. Her queen is gone. The crowd, once roaring with laughter, now watches in breathless silence. The chandeliers cast sharp light across her face, revealing beads of sweat forming at her temple. She forces a laugh, brittle and hollow. "Well, looks like you got lucky," she says, reaching for another piece. Her hand trembles slightly. Malik doesn't answer. His focus is unbroken. Each move he makes now is faster, sharper, like an engine running at full power. A knight snaps into place. A bishop cuts through the diagonal. Pawns advance like soldiers locking down territory. Clarissa tries to strike back, but every attempt collapses. She's playing catch-up in a game she thought she controlled. A man near the back whispers, "He's destroying her." The queen she lost was the heart of her strategy, and without it, the board bends to Malik's rhythm. Her flashy moves are gone. Now she hesitates before every decision. He sets up the final sequence with surgical precision. The knight leaps, trapping her rook. Her king shuffles helplessly. Then Malik slides his queen forward, smooth, silent, inevitable. Check, Clarissa stiffens. She moves desperately, trying to build a wall of pawns. Malik breaks it down in 2 clean moves. Check again. Her breathing grows uneven. She looks up, searching the crowd for someone to rescue her, but no one moves. Even her closest friends have fallen silent. And then, final move. Malik's bishop slices across the board like a blade. Her king is cornered. "No escape." "Checkmate," Malik says softly. The word hits the ballroom like a thunderclap. For a heartbeat, there's silence. Then a wave of gasps, followed by stunned applause. Clarissa's hands hover above the board, frozen. Her world, built on control, status, and spectacle, has crumbled in front of everyone. Dr. Patel steps forward, eyes shining with recognition. "What's your name, son?" he asks. Malik looks up, calm, composed. "Malik," he answers. In that single moment, the cleaner is no longer invisible. The room is still buzzing, but the energy has shifted completely. Moments ago, Malik was the cleaner. Now every pair of eyes follows him like he's the center of gravity. Clarissa sits rigid in her chair, the shine of her diamonds doing nothing to hide the humiliation on her face. Dr. Patel steps closer, his voice cutting through the murmurs. "Malik Johnson?" His brow furrows, recognition sparking. "I know that name." Clarissa scoffs under her breath. "Oh, please," she mutters. "He's just—" Dr. Patel turns to her sharply. "No, he's not just anyone." The crowd leans in. Some guests whisper, trying to place the name. A woman gasps softly. "Wait! The Malik Johnson?" "The prodigy?" Dr. Patel nods slowly, eyes locked on Malik. "City champion at 14. Beat masters twice his age. Everyone thought you disappeared." Malik stays quiet. His gaze drifts for a moment, and the noise of the ballroom fades into memory. A flashback bursts to life. Teenage Malik sitting in a cramped tournament hall. Rows of boards. Tense faces. He moves with the same calm precision, toppling opponent after opponent, while his father cheers from the sidelines. Cameras flash. Trophies glimmer. A coach clasps his shoulder and says, "Kid, you're going places." Then the tone shifts. A hospital room. Machines beeping softly. Malik's father lying weakly on the bed, holding his son's hand. Chess trophies boxed away. The board gathering dust. Back in the ballroom, Malik exhales slowly, grounding himself in the present. Clarissa tries to regain control. She forces a laugh. Well, this was entertaining. A fun little game, but Dr. Patel isn't having it. No, he says firmly, loud enough for the room to hear. That wasn't fun. That was a masterclass. And you made a mockery of a genius to amuse your guests. A ripple of agreement moves through the crowd. People shift uncomfortably. Phones that once filmed for mockery are now recording history. Clarissa's painted smile slips. Her power is gone. Malik doesn't gloat. He simply sits there, quiet and composed, as the world realizes who he truly is. Somewhere in the corner, a screen flashes with live feeds, clips of the match already going viral. Malik's name spreads like wildfire. This isn't just a game anymore. It's a revelation. By the next morning, the match is everywhere. Short clips dominate social media feeds. Headlines scream about the janitor who checkmated a billionaire. And Malik's quiet face at the chessboard has become a symbol of genius, humility, and poetic justice. In the janitor's break room, Malik sits alone with a paper cup of coffee, scrolling through the flood of notifications on an old phone. His inbox is overflowing. Interview requests, sponsorship offers, tournament invitations. For the first time in years, the world is looking for him. A group of co-workers bursts in, eyes wide. "Malik, that's you on TV," one of them says, pointing at the tiny wall-mounted screen. A news anchor plays the match in slow motion, highlighting the final checkmate. Clarissa's shocked face freezes on screen, replayed over and over like a scene from a movie. Malik's manager walks in, holding a clipboard. "Patel Foundation just called. They want to sponsor you for the Grand Masters Invitational. Fully funded." Malik looks down at his hands, the same hands that once packed away his trophies after his father died. A slow, steady smile spreads across his face. Meanwhile, across town, Clarissa watches the same news segment from her sleek penthouse. Her friends are texting her non-stop, some laughing, some pitying. Her social media is flooded with memes and mockery. The woman who once controlled every room is now the punchline of the internet's favorite story. She throws her tablet onto the couch, fury boiling beneath her polished exterior. "This isn't over," she whispers. Back at the janitor's room, Malik turns off the phone and stares at the chessboard in front of him. The pieces are set. A new game is about to begin, this time on his terms. The hum of the building fades into silence. His eyes sharpen with quiet determination. The underdog isn't just back, he's rising. The ballroom is grand once again, but this time, the spotlight doesn't belong to Clarissa. A massive chess exhibition has drawn media, sponsors, and the elite. Cameras line the walls. Reporters buzz like bees. In the center of it all, Malik. He stands tall in a crisp suit, the board set before him like a stage. His name flashes on the banner behind. Grand Masters Invitational, sponsored by the Patel Foundation. Clarissa enters late, dressed to impress, every step calculated. She's determined to reclaim the room. Her publicist whispers, "Smile, be gracious. Spin the narrative." She approaches Malik with a practiced grin. "Congratulations," she says smoothly. "Quite the performance. I'm glad I gave you your big break." Malik looks at her calmly, the same steady eyes that checkmated her days earlier. "No," he replies softly but firmly. "You didn't give me anything. You just gave the world a reason to see what was already there." The words land like a final move, quiet, clean, inescapable. The announcer calls for silence as Malik is invited to make the opening move against a renowned grandmaster. Cameras flash. The crowd holds its breath. Malik leans forward, picks up his pawn, and pushes it forward with the same quiet confidence that started it all. In the front row, Clarissa watches as applause builds. Real applause, not the polite clapping of the elite. She's no longer the center. She's just another spectator to a story bigger than her. Later, as Malik stands on stage receiving an honorary medal, he looks out at the crowd. For a moment, he imagines his father in the audience, smiling, proud. He exhales slowly, not as a janitor or a forgotten prodigy, but as a man who reclaimed his story. The lights rise. The crowd erupts, and Malik smiles, not because he won a game, but because he finally took his place on the board.